Hi there, this is Data, and welcome to the Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Monday, September 25th, 2023, and tonight we'll be talking about Monday Night Raw. All right, so quite a few things happened on tonight's Raw. Let's talk about this Drew McIntyre possible heel turn. So over the last couple weeks, it seems like he's been teasing a heel turn. Like, he left Jey Uso in there to get beaten up after their main event match last week on Raw. And that's why he was on Miz TV today to talk about that. And like, he headbutted the Miz because the Miz kept interrupting him. And then like the New Day came out. And this led into a Drew McIntyre versus Kofi Kingston match. The match was really good. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely liked the match. You know, the crowd was super into it. I like that they are slowly building up for Drew McIntyre's heel turn. I like that too. You could definitely tell that they're teasing that heel turn. And then, like, you know, Xavier Woods was at ringside. And, like, Ivar came down and, like, attacked him. And, like, that, you know, that caused Kofi Kingston to become distracted, which Drew McIntyre took advantage of. He hit him with the Claymore, and Drew McIntyre was victorious. And then at the end, you know, Ivar also attacked Kofi Kingston, and Drew McIntyre just looked on, and he walked away from Kofi Kingston. Like, he didn't even bother saving him. And then, you know, when they ask Ivar why he's attacking the New Day, he says that the New Day took Eric out of the fight, and so it's an eye for an eye. So I really like the slow heel turn that they're doing. Like, you know, Drew McIntyre needed this, if you ask me. I think this is a nice direction for him to go in. He's not giving a damn about anything anymore. Like, he's just out for himself. I wonder if this is going to potentially lead to feuding with Cody Rhodes, because it seemed like he was not happy about the fact that Cody brought Jey Uso to Monday Night Raw. So what do you guys think of Drew McIntyre's potential heel turn and him potentially feuding with Cody Rhodes over bringing Jey Uso to Raw? Let me know in the comments section down below. So also tonight was a big night for Judgment Day. You know, they had all their titles except for Rhea, because she wasn't on the show, on the line. You know, you had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn get their rematch against the Judgment Day. Dominick Mysterio put his title on the line against Dragon Lee. You know, even the opening of Monday Night Raw, which even though it started with Cody Rhodes, involved the Judgment Day. Now, I feel like this is your typical opening show to Raw. I was kind of like, okay, somebody goes out there, cuts a promo, Judgment Day, you know, interrupts, which has been happening a lot for a while now, and I'm getting kind of tired of it, but what followed wasn't as bad. So, like, you know, Cody Rhodes is out there, he's cutting a promo, Judgment Day comes out, and of course, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn come out, as well as Jey Uso. Same old, rinse and repeat. Yes, exactly. And like, this causes a brawl breaks out. You know, at first Judgment Day is outnumbered. JD Madonna comes on with chairs, and like you can see Damian Priest is kind of like trying to stop them from going in there, but when they go in there, it's so hilarious. Like, Damian Priest gets beaten up by everybody in that ring, which is so hilarious. Like, he gets super kicked and he gets hit with the steel chair. So, you know, later on in the night, Damian Priest is not too happy that happened. I mean, he even yelled at poor JD backstage because he took a beating. And, you know, in the main event, like I said, it was the Undisputed Tag title match. It was Judgment Day versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, which was a great main event. But I'm getting pretty sick and tired of seeing the same main event over and over and over again. I mean, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have been feuding with the Judgment Day, I don't know, as long as they feuded with the Bloodline. But this was I'm not gonna lie, this was a really great main event. I actually really did enjoy the main event, but we've seen it before. I mean, it was the same thing. Like, you know, even earlier in the night when Jey Uso said he would help keep an eye on Sami Zayn because that's his dog. We need to move on from Judgment Day, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens. This has been going on all summer. I agree, it has. Like, at the end, you know, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso came out, but the Judgment Day still retained because JD Madonna cheap shotted Sami Zayn. And another brawl broke out. I have to say it was a great finish to Raw having that brawl break out. But again, this feud has been happening. What is this leading to? Now, it hasn't been announced, but we have Survivor Series. Could potentially this year's Survivor Series be War Games? Because if this is War Games, I could definitely see this happening at War Games. It's going to be the Judgment Day. JD, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, and Dominick Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. It's probably going to be 4-on-4 unless they want to mix things up a bit and throw Rhea in there, but then the other team's going to need a girl. So maybe it'll just be 4-on-4. So if that's what they're building to, it's like WWE are creatively bankrupt on what to put for a main event for Raw. Cody Rhodes has no direction. Yeah, it seems like Cody Rhodes doesn't have any direction. They're definitely stalling until until Royal Rumble for sure. But I don't know what Cody Rhodes seems to. He did allude to the fact that they're no longer in the third inning, which is what Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns say about Roman's title reign, that they're on the third inning. So, and Cody Rhodes also did mention the fact that since he bought Jey Uso, someone's getting traded to SmackDown, but we still don't know who. It kind of seems to me like he's the one that's going to go over to SmackDown since Jey Uso's now on Raw. And it wouldn't surprise me if that's the case. War Games needs to happen. I hope we don't get 5-on-5 Raw versus... Oh, no, Survivor Series does not need to be SmackDown versus Raw. And even before they incorporated War Games into Survivor Series, one of my favorite Survivor Series matches, the traditional 5-on-5, was Team DX versus Team Rated RKO. That was one of my favorite Survivor Series matches. And Survivor Series does not need to be SmackDown versus Raw. But yes, I do think it's building to a War Games match. And if we don't get that War Games match, I don't know what to tell you. So we also get Otis versus Bronson Reed, which is, I guess you could say, big meaty men slapping meat. And they even mentioned that on commentary. I kind of pop for that. Bronson Reed wins this with the tsunami to Otis. So, with Elimination Chamber being in Australia, Bronson Reed is Australian. It wouldn't surprise me if Bronson Reed is on that show. Becky Lynch has a segment with Tegan Nox where she's basically trying to encourage her to claim her spot. This leads into Tegan Nox versus Natalya because Natalya is asking for a rematch and Tegan Nox wants that spot. So we get Tegan Nox versus Natalya with Becky Lynch on commentary, and then it said that Becky Lynch will face Tiffany Stratton in an Extreme Rules match, and whoever wins that will face Tegan Nox, which I think that pretty much tells you Becky Lynch is going to win. I don't think she's going to lose to Tiffany Stratton. Maybe I'll watch NXT No Mercy. Maybe. But Tegan Nox wins with the shiniest wizard to Natty. So it's good to see Tegan Nox again. We have not seen Tegan Nox in forever. But if she's gonna be Becky Lynch's next challenger, we gotta add some credibility to her here. I'm in the case so glad Tegan Nox being used instead of being on 30 Minute anyway. She's great. Yeah, she is, but she hasn't been able to showcase what she can do because, like you said, she's stuck on main event. So hopefully it's the start to something. So Seth freaking Rollins cuts a promo, and he's basically trying to get an answer out of Nakamura. And Nakamura gives him an answer. He's challenging him to a last man standing match. Now, one of the things that I like about this is Tegan Nox is also injury prone. That is true. One of the things I do like about this is that for all the promos that Nakamura has cut so far, he's speaking Japanese and they put English subtitles, which is great. I personally like that. So at Fastlane, it'll be Shinsuke Nakamura versus Seth freaking Rollins in a last man standing match, which should be a great match. Unfortunately, I don't think Nakamura is going to win that. God, 4 times we had to hear a sing-along during the segment of Rollins. Yeah, we had to because first the crowd sang when he came out. Then he asked them to sing if he should be defending his title and if Nakamura keeps dodging him. That's why we got that sing-along. Now, Seth Rollins says something in this. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. He says his 100% makes him the best in the world. Now, it might not mean anything. Doesn't necessarily. Who else calls himself the best in the world? CM Punk. Again, it's probably just one of those things where he just said it, doesn't necessarily mean anything, but that got people talking that he called himself the best in the world. And Survivor Series is in Chicago, so we do have to wait and see. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. It could just be one of those things. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Who knows? But we have to wait and see. Ricochet is like in crutches. Nakamura not winning that match, never going to give a chance because it's with Omega, will they do the same with Asuka? Yeah, I don't think Nakamura is winning that match. Honestly, the feud should end. Even like Ricochet said in his backstage interview that whoever wins the last man standing match, he has unfinished business with Nakamura. So if they're going to do Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ricochet again, Ricochet needs to move on from that. And maybe he'll be Seth Rollins' next challenger. So we get the NXT North American title match. It is Dragon Lee versus Dominick Mysterio. I have to say, this is the first time ever I see Dragon Lee wrestle, and I like what I saw. Was really impressed by him. And it was an awesome debut, if you ask me. I really like that he did the head scissors to Dom. That Hurricanrana off the ring apron that sent Dominic to the floor was pretty good. Nakamura's lost his titles at Money in the Bank 2018 in a last man standing match. Nakamura should have chosen another stipulation. Yeah, he should have. The crowd was super into this match. They were chanting, "This is awesome." But Dominick Mysterio won. He retained his title. So I want to see more Dragon Lee. Maybe I should watch NXT to see more Dragon Lee, but I thought they had a good showing on Monday Night Raw. And I know some people may not like this match being here. Granted, they did give us some explanation on who Dragon Lee is, which I give them props for. But if you're sending main roster stars down to NXT, maybe NXT should come up too. Good match this was. Dragon Lee was carrying Dom throughout this match. So I think it was a good introduction for Dragon Lee, even though he lost. Maybe he should have won. So he's whispering easily, in my opinion. Do you agree? I haven't checked out Samantha Ireen's YouTube channel. I didn't even know she had one. I didn't feel like that match being a Raw. They should have booked it for tomorrow night or even. Yeah, now that you mentioned that, I can see why you think this because, Dominic was supposed to defend his title against Mustafa Ali at NXT No Mercy, but because Mustafa Ali got released, who is he going to defend now? Maybe they should have moved the match. I hope there's no, how would you do a rematch when Dominic beat him clean? If Rhea Ripley was at ringside and Dominic had cheated, okay, I could see the rematch happening, but, how do you do a rematch from this? I don't think you can because he beat him clean. But now, I don't even watch NXT, but now what's Dominic supposed to do at NXT No Mercy? Is he not going to defend his title? I have to wait and see. So, we get a Nia Jax interview. Mustafa Ali, guys. All got released yet. Almost Nia Jax and Jinder Mahal still employed. Yeah, almost is still employed. We got a Nia Jax interview which leads into a match with Zoey Starks. I was not a huge fan of that. I was not, just didn't do anything for me as much. It was okay, but are they trying to make her like this, like a dominant woman? Because you could do that with what she's doing. They should have done that with Shayna Baszler. But I just wasn't a huge fan of that. We also have, when we see same old stuff in the ring, yeah. We have Tommaso Ciampa versus Ludwig Kaiser, which actually also was a good match. I liked it. But Giovanni Vinci was at ringside for this. And because Tommaso Ciampa cheap shotted him, like he got hurt, and then the ref was checking on him, which prevented the ref from counting the 1, 2, 3 for Ludwig Kaiser. And like Ludwig was so cold-blooded, like he didn't care that his tag team partner or that his fellow stablemate was like injured. Homie literally kicked him out of the ring. I don't mean that as a figure of speech. Like he didn't tell me to get out or anything. He mean Vinci was like down and out. He was just like touching his face, and Kaiser kicked him and out of the ring. Like he literally kicked him. So Gunter, who was watching the match, was not happy about that. You know, we have an American Alpha segment backstage, and like Chad Gable, he's trying to tell Otis not to worry, that it was nothing. It's because he lost to Bronson Reed, and they're approached by Kaiser, who like tells Maxine to look at her guys and then to look at them. And Gable tells maybe this will lead to a slow breakup of Imperium. I think so too. So Chad Gable tells Kaiser to send Gunter a message that he will suplex his way to another title opportunity. And then, Gunter yells at Vinci and then at Kaiser. And he says that he has to beat Ciampa himself. So like Michael 101591 said, I do think that's possibly going to lead to a breakup of Imperium. So if Imperium breaks up, I think that's probably when Gunter is going to lose the IC title, because he won't have anybody to back him up. Just kind of like with the Judgment Day. I think the split with Judgment Day will probably come when they start losing all of their gold. But overall, I didn't think tonight's Raw was too terrible. It was actually kind of watchable for the most part. Like I said, aside from the Nia Jax stuff, I thought it was pretty much watchable. Didn't like the rinse and repeat with the whole Judgment Day. The main event was good. I really like the opening brawl and the closing brawl. But I just, we gotta move on. We gotta do something. And so I gotta knock a peg down or two. A 6 out of 10. Okay, show. Yeah, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I think Gunter will be solo and Wednesday will be a tag team. Wait and see, maybe. And I give it a 7 out of 10. Decent show. I wasn't bored out of my mind. But with that being said, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or this new video. And I'll see you guys Wednesday after Dynamite. Bye.